Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Vinaykumar. Previously we discussed about Linux operating system, what is Linux and why we use Linux. So today agenda was the day is we're gonna deep dive into the Linux. We're gonna discuss about the Linux operating system uh, and uh, and so before you start in the Linux operating system, we need I want to explain practically with what is a Linux operating system. So before starting it, I will discuss more about what is software, different between software and hardware. So you can understand, you can get knowledge on what is a Linux operating system. So if let us assume if you purchase a laptop, purchase a laptop Raspberry Pi or any other server. Okay, what are the key components of that particular server? Right, is nothing but a hardware. So uh, even if you purchase a laptop, uh, uh, you got a lot of fancy things like your display or mouse, keyboard, and all other things. And purchasing, essentially you are purchasing hardware that is nothing but a CPU, RAM, and IO, right? Do software on top of your hardware. Okay, let's say you purchase a laptop. Let's say you purchase a laptop, what be your interest, when your interest make use some softwares, whether you have using this gaming or any kind of Jenkins or Java or Python programs. So essentially running some softwares, right, is that what are doing. You have a software application that you want to run against the hardware that purchased that you purchase. Okay, but you cannot directly do it. Okay, let's say you have user install Jenkins on your. So let's say user install Jenkins and execute a Jenkins pipeline or Jenkins directly. Not I mean it cannot directly talk to the CPU or RAM. There is a way to medium between software and hardware. That is nothing but an operating system. So what is an operating system? Providing system is something, it acts as a bridge between software and hardware. So it drives medium between communication between the software and hardware. So that is the definition of your Linux operating system. So whether Linux operating system is a Windows operating system or anything, today's you purchase your laptop. Let's say you purchase a uh, Dell laptop. What it sells it hardware. Okay, on the top of the hardware, what is going to install is the operating system, and it's giving you to purchase Dell laptop which comes with CPU, RAM, along with what it's installing Windows operating systems. Okay, so that is a reason why you are able to directly deploy your application or install any application, and your application is able to process the request or coming from the user. That is as a user what you trying to do. If you are is installing an application and your application is talking to operating system, and your operating system is talking to your hardware, vice versa, right? Your hardware is again talking to operating system, and your operating system gives back the information to the application, and your application gives back the information to you. So this is the process of communication happens in this way. Firstly, a user, you are installing some application on your laptop, and your laptop on or your server. Okay, just you say understanding, I'm mentioning it is a laptop, but I always understood it is a server. So as a user, you install application on the software on your server, and the server is giving the response, giving the request of your operating system, and your operating system is sending the request to your hardware or a CPU or RAM or anything. Again, your operating system is giving the response back to your hardware, is the giving response back to your operating system. From the operating system is going to software or your application, finally reaches the user. This is the life cycle. This is where your operating system plays the key role you must have your applications ready, you must have your hardware ready, but without operating system nothing happens. So that's why it is a core earlier, it is a heart of everything. Again, depending upon your comfort, whether we are using an Apple, or let's say we purchased Apple laptop or Mac laptop or any Windows laptop, it comes Mac operating system. If you purchase a Dell laptop, it default most of the times it comes with a Windows operating system. So you are purchasing ThinkPad or something like Linux version of it, it comes with a Linux operating system. So depends upon user or depends upon the vendor, they come with your own operating system. But why Linux is more popular? But if you just think a minute, a student or as a kid, most of the times you are familiar with Windows operating system. But once you move to software journey, you see the Linux is everything everywhere, whether you are in a production system or a staging environment, a data engineer, or any field environment is deployed, and all the applications are deployed and tested on your Linux operating system itself. So agree that there are Windows as well, like, but 90 to 80% of the time you test on the Linux operating systems, and also we deploy the application on Linux operating systems. Let's try to understand why. Okay, there is a very good reasons why Linux is very popular. First and foremost reason is that Linux is a free operating system, unlike. So sorry, let's discuss about Linux. So Linux is a free to use, it is a open source software, and anybody can create Unix like operating system. That is, Linux is like an operating system. And again, one of the key reason, uh, Linux is a secure. It's a secure. For example, you have a Linux laptop and you have a Windows laptop. You don't even have to install any kind of antivirus for your Windows laptop, or you must have installed it by CAFE or any other things like antivirus or malware softwares. Or whereas you don't have to install any kind of antivirus, but it is by default very secure. And now I'm not saying that is 100% secure, but most of the times your Linux system operating system is secure software, and it contain lot of distributions like, uh, you know distributions like CentOS, you have distributions like Ubuntu, you have distributions like Red Hat, and a lot of other things, right? But if you talk about the free distributions, that you have proper ones like Ubuntu, CentOS, and the people like also use Alpine, Debian, and so on. Is it has a very fast. If your operating system is slow, because your operating system hard for everything, like when a user is trying to send a request, let's say you are trying to access Amazon.com. Let's just say you are trying to access Amazon.com, you are trying to access a Netflix. So if your operating system itself is very slow, then it doesn't matter, right, whether your application might have advanced concept like multi-threading or any other thing in your application. But if your operating system is not capable of taking the request, then if there is no use to. That's why the people always prefer the fast running operating systems, or the operating system which are not crashed or which are not slow in other production system. That's one of the key reason why Linux is used as an operating system in production systems, or production environment, because it is very fast and it is very secure and it is also free in nature. So what are the things that you want to write when sometimes come for free, when something is very secure? First, fast, then and bliss of. So we're going to discuss about kernel. Kernel, and what is a kernel? So kernel is a heart of your Linux operating system. Why? Because it is responsible for kernel is to establish a communication between your hardware and software. Like I mentioned, so there is a user. Okay, the user is installing an application which is software, and there is a hardware that is nothing but your CPU, a RAM, or a input and output. Also, like, there should be no component in your operating system which is taking these responsibilities, right? So that component is nothing but your kernel. So that's why the kernel is again the heart of your operating system. So there is some of primary responsibilities of kernel that you have to understand. That is for CPU. It doesn't it does okay. Let's say you try to put in this way of for four important aspects of kernel. If even if somebody is asking you on interview what is a kernel in operating system, you can say that a kernel has four primary responsibilities. It is a heart of an operating system which does a device management. Okay, kernel is responsible for memory management, and then it is responsible for your process management, and finally it is responsible for handling your system calls of an operating system. These are the four key aspects of handling your kernel. One is the device management, memory management process, and handling the system related calls. After that you have a system libraries, like as mentioned, you have